The sun bled gold over Dust Creek town, that kind of sunset that made the sand shimmer like embers and the air burn with the weight of justice, or the illusion of it. The sheriff stood tall on the creaking wooden platform, his voice sharp as a whip as he called out to the gathered crowd. "As law permits, Mr. Callan, you may choose any woman for your household. These are your options." He gestured toward a line of women, each bound, weary and silent, under the judgmental gaze of the townsfolk. Among them stood one in a deep red dress, barefoot, her face smudged with dust, but her eyes steady, as if daring the whole world to look away. Callan, a rancher whose name carried respect and tragedy in equal measure, looked over the women with a heart already too tired to choose. Two little girls, his twin daughters, clung to his legs, one clutching a ragged doll, the other pointing at the red-dressed woman who refused to bow her head. "Papa," whispered the smaller one, her voice trembling but clear. "That's her." The words cut through the noise like thunder. The sheriff turned, frowning, but Callan just stared at his daughters, puzzled. "Her?" he repeated softly. The girls nodded together, as if their hearts had already seen something no one else could. The woman in red lifted her chin, meeting his gaze. There was no fear there, only quiet defiance. Her name was Clara Mayfield, once a teacher, now branded as a troublemaker for standing against the powerful men who ruled Dust Creek. She had refused to sell her land, refused to bow to those who thought they could own everything, including her voice. For that, she had been accused of theft, deceit, and witchcraft, words easily thrown at a woman who wouldn't submit. Callan's heart twisted. His wife had died a year ago, leaving him with two little girls and a ranch slipping through his calloused fingers. He didn't come to town looking for another woman. He came to hire a housekeeper. But somehow this display felt more like a market than mercy. Still, when his daughters spoke again, he couldn't ignore it. "She's the one, Papa," they whispered, eyes wide with innocent conviction. The sheriff huffed impatiently. "You heard your girls, Callan. Take her if you want her." "It's your right." But as Callan stepped forward, the crowd murmured. Some laughed, others shook their heads. "That's the one accused of setting fire to her own barn," someone spat. "She ain't right in the head," another added. Clara said nothing. She just kept staring at him, her bound hands trembling slightly, though her voice, when she finally spoke, was clear as wind over canyon stone. "If you're here to save someone," she said, "don't save me out of pity." Her words struck him deeper than he expected. He saw not a criminal, not a burden, but a soul unbroken, even while standing on the edge of ruin. "I'm not here for pity," he said quietly. "I'm here because my daughters see something I don't yet understand." The sheriff frowned but untied her roughly, muttering about foolish men and stubborn children. When the rope fell away, Clara rubbed her wrists, her skin marked with red lines, but her dignity intact. The twins smiled shyly at her, and for the first time she allowed herself a small smile back. "Why me?" she asked softly as they walked through the dusty street, the eyes of the town following her every step. "Because," Callan replied, looking down at his daughters, "they've never been wrong about people, and maybe it's time I start believing in something again." The ride back to the ranch was silent, save for the wind whispering through the dry fields. Clara watched the sunset bleed into night, her thoughts a tangle of fear and hope. Could this man truly be different? Could a place that once hated her become her home? She didn't know, but she saw how gently Callan spoke to his girls, how carefully he lifted them from the wagon, and something in her heart, long frozen, began to thaw. That night, while the girls slept and the fire crackled low, Callan sat across from her. "You don't owe me gratitude," he said. "I only ask that you be honest with me, and with them." Clara looked up, her voice breaking for the first time. "Honesty is all I have left." Days turned into weeks. Clara worked hard, teaching the twins their letters, mending clothes, cooking meals she hadn't made since her own mother's kitchen. The girls adored her, following her in the fields, laughing as she braided their hair, even listening to her bedtime stories about courage and forgiveness. Callan watched her, every day more drawn to the light she carried, even after everything had been taken from her. But Dust Creek hadn't forgotten her. Rumors spread like wildfire. Ben came to the ranch warning Callan that his new woman would bring him ruin. He stood tall against them all. "If standing with her means standing alone," he said, "then I'll stand alone." One stormy evening, as lightning cracked across the hills, the barn caught fire, the same way hers once had. The townsfolk arrived, ready to blame her again. But this time, the twins ran out into the rain, shouting, "It wasn't her! Papa saw the lightning!" Their small voices silenced the crowd. Colin stood beside Clara, soaked but unshaken. "You've burned her once," he told them coldly. "You won't do it again." The sheriff, seeing the truth in his eyes, turned away. That night, the townspeople left in shame, and Clara wept for the first time, not from fear, but from release. As dawn broke, Callan found her outside, watching the pink sky. He stepped closer, gently taking her hand. "You don't have to be strong all the time," he said. She smiled faintly. "Maybe not. But sometimes strength is all a woman has left." The twins ran to them then, laughing and calling her name. "Mama!" It stopped Clara cold. Her tears fell freely now, and she knelt, gathering the girls in her arms. Colin watched, his heart finally at peace. The woman in the red dress, once scorned, now stood as the center of their family, a symbol of second chances and the fire that never dies. So when life tells you you're not worthy, remember this: someone out there sees your worth, even when the world doesn't. Sometimes it's a child's heart that sees the truth first. And if you believe in stories like this, about redemption, courage, and love that defies judgment, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because there are still 1,000 hearts waiting to be healed by stories that remind us, no matter how broken the past, there's always a reason to begin again.